Well, you better be.
All right.
Oh.
Here you go.
I didn't see that. It said go live.
Yep, you did. Go on with it.
I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I just got the notification. Hi, you guys are watching the Mac and Cheese podcast, which you will hopefully be getting a podcast once a month or multiple episodes a week, with only one of my friends / celebrities. Or with one of our friends / celebrities. I forgot that Ingrid's a part of the team now. Yay! If you want to be a guest, please email us at macpodcast2023@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Twitter at macpodcast2023. So if you want to follow the guests, please do. Their Twitter will be in the bio. We are now partnering with Ohana Packer Edition Network, like I just told them in the background. So if you want to read anything articles about the Green Bay Packers, you can do so there, including recipes. I know soon we're going to be having a lasagna recipe soon. I think Monday. Okay. Who's...
I hope she piles it with a load of cheese.
I'm writing the recipe, so I'll add that. Okay, question 1.
Gotta have cheese.
Just not load it with cheese, you'll be fine.
Oh, wow!
You gotta load it with cheese.
Fine, I'll write that on my whiteboard. Okay, question 1.
All right, so, oh boy. I gotta ask about this place. Great. Okay, I'm just kidding with you. All right, so you know how like Lambeau Field is pretty much the mecca of the NFL, and Soldier Field is oh boy, it used to be a great field. Sadly, it used to be one of the greatest landmarks, of course, in America. But of course, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm asking about what were your... You've been to Soldier Field, right? You've been there? Obviously from Chicago. But...
Absolutely. Last century and this century.
All right. So can you tell me like your favorite moments during that time, watching the Bears play, during that time you've been at Soldier Field or...
I'll have to say this is crazy story because it's actually the Bears lost the game. But the reason I this just sticks out in my mind is because now I actually have talked to this person, and when I brought it up, he kind of remembered the game. So it's December 26th, 1995. Freezing cold. My beard and my mustache and the beer in my hand were frozen solid. It was insanely cold, man. And the Bears ended up losing to the Lions. And the quarterback for the Lions, as a matter of fact, it was his last regular season game as a Lion. This guy's name was Eric Kramer.
That's right. I heard him.
Okay, so he went on. I looked at when that game was done, I looked at my brother-in-law and I'm like, man, we're freezing. I'm like, dude, if the Bears had this guy, they could win. Well, he ended up on the Bears. And basically, to this day, he's had the best season as a Bears quarterback ever, statistically. So Cutler broke some of those records, but he at that point, he was like for one season, he was an NFL quarterback. And the only other quarterback in my lifetime that we had prior to that was Jim McMahon. We were talking about it last night. You go back 50 years, the Bears haven't had a quarterback in 50 years if you take out Jim McMahon, the year by Eric Kramer, and maybe one or two other guys, Cutler. So that moment just stands out because now I'm actually have conversations with him. I've had him on the show. Oh, and it's weird what happens over, that's 30 years almost to go from that day and never forgetting it and remembering all this stuff. And then I'm sitting with them on a show like you and I, just talking about life, not even football, just life. So that's probably one of my standout moments. And then I could throw in 3 or Bears playoff wins in that cold weather when we kick somebody's ass, like the Philadelphia one, where at the end of the game, as we score a touchdown, it starts snowing. It gets really cold and starts snowing. That's probably another. That was a Philadelphia game. I can't remember when that was, but that moment just stands in my head because it was like we're champions and the it's Chicago weather as the game is ending, like 58, 80 seconds left, somewhere in that range. It's less than 50 seconds left in that game. So those are like 2 of the moments that I could stand out from Soldier Field. I'll even throw in last year going to see the Raiders. because of all the people that I got to meet. It's not really even because of the game, and they won that game. It was the people that a bunch of them I met here doing this, and we were able to get together, 25 of us, and go to that game and spend some time together. So one guy, we brought him all the way from London. He's been a Bears fan since '85, since he was a little kid, and he came all the way from London. That's probably I got to throw that game up there with it because I bought the ticket. We sat to eat next to each other through the game. 2 years ago, he had no idea. He just his one thing was, man, I'd love to go to Chicago and see the Bears play in Soldier Field. And he said it on a show, and we actually got people together and did a GoFundMe and got him here and did it. You know, that's just those kind of things. See, look I'm not even talking about football moments. I'm talking about the people involved. So sorry to go long-winded on that, guys.
No, that's okay.
No, it's perfectly fine. I mean, we probably go a good bit with our moments, of course. You know, I mean, I'm sure I know you probably don't remember the day of that freaking Philly game, but I'm sure you remember the day of the double doink, of course. And yeah, I'm trying to throw shade. I'm just pointing it out, but you know, just popped them in my head. And of course, you were rocking the Andy Reid look from the Dolphins game this year, before Andy Reid could rock it. That's for sure. And hearing the story, even though it is the Bears, and that's a child abuse, but hearing you guys do this GoFundMe for someone who's never been to like a Chicago game and been really dying, and fans coming together, that's pretty interesting. No matter what fan base you are, I mean, that's gotta be. I mean, I didn't go to my first game until I was 22 last year, the year before against Tampa Bay, where we won, but still, it was an exhilarating experience, and I'm glad I got to go last year against the Panthers. It was great.
Absolutely, man, and I hope you guys all get decades of that. I hope you get to enjoy this sport the way I did. I mean, we're fortunate. We're just fortunate that we get to do this in this country. So
exactly.
a lot of places you wouldn't be able to do the things we do.
That's right.
So
here,
go ahead, Mary. Sorry.
Oh, I was about to say, I forgot we didn't play the intro again. My bad, I owe Joe. Watching this.
That's what I was waiting for when you started. I'm looking at the screen going, okay, where's their intro? The music? They got anything?
Fine.
And I was like, okay, we're live.
No, I probably should.
We're live. Fuck it. We're live. Like it or not, we're live.
Okay, I probably should before he doesn't yell at us. Whatever. Sorry.
Right there with Joe.
Sorry. See?
Your first time chopped liver, now it's freaking Iowa Joe's chopped liver. Great. I feel love.
Wait. Oh. I just realized that there's banners. Just set up. Okay. I forgot we have comments running through.
Hey, Miranda, how you doing?
Fine.
Justin's over there being all quiet.
Yeah, he's usually quiet, you know.
Yeah, he's usually quiet. That's normal for him. Miranda, we love you.
Hi, Miranda. Miranda Marie.
She is a Packers fan as well. She actually.
Never mind, Miranda. I don't like you.
Oh, whoa. Go to the goal line.
Miranda actually texted me a question for you about Justin Fields and your quarterback.
Foster Covers. I'm sorry if I butchered the name. Hope everyone is well. Or Foster Covers. You're butchering the name, Foster. I'm sorry. I'm just tired. I literally got up at like 5 a.m. I'm just like, but thank you, guys. Hope you guys are doing all right. This is definitely going on the blooper reel. I'm kidding.
Get back up here and face it like the person that you are, dude. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I know. I'm just laughing at this. Yeah.
That's what if you do you do as much of that during your life, you'll live longer and happier. Trust me. Do as much laughing as you can every day, man.
So Miranda says, "Love you guys.
Always.
Hope have a
My
great
house was on fire. I was almost dead. My daughter got rear-ended. It was a terrible couple of days, but we laughed our way through all of it, dude. I kid you guys not. Because what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Fortunately, nothing bad happened. Nobody got hurt. Nobody died. All this stuff got destroyed and ruined, but screw that. It can be replaced, So.
And also, Miranda's laughing at everyone.
LMAO.
Just so
beautiful. Beautiful. That's the way to do it. What was Miranda's question again?
Miranda's my twin, basically. Miranda's basically my twin.
Is one of you guys evil?
I mean, I'm not going to say anything.
See, one of them's probably evil, guys. Be careful.
And then there's Justin plotting on how to stop the Vikings from getting bailed out every game.
Oh, that's past. Kirk Cousins is no longer going to be there. Anyway, next question. Sorry. So who are your top two Bears players currently and all time? Not counting quarterbacks. One on offense, one on defense.
Okay, so here I'll go. My top two Bear players of all time. Number one offensively's got to be Walter Payton. When I was 9 years old, 10 years old, we drafted him, and I got to see every game he played in. And I've seen games before that, but that's pretty much when I became a fan. So I've seen every game, every Bears game, or been at since like 1975, which is just amazing. I'm fortunate. So he's offense by far because he was the greatest running back ever. He could do anything. Defense is a little harder. I got a lot of guys. I'm going to have to go with Steve McMichael Mongo, who was just inducted into the Hall of Fame. Long overdue. If you look at that man's career, and I got to see every game he played, it's just so underrated. He should have been in a long time ago. I don't think there's too many defensive tackles out there that have the numbers that he has. 92 plus sacks for defensive tackle. And not just that he's got all these numbers, but he did it consistently. And actually, there was a period almost near the end of his career where he actually got better later in his early 30s, man. He had like a 3-year run there where he was the best defensive tackle in the NFL. I don't care what anybody says. He's probably 5 years of that. And I'm not the only one that says it. A couple Hall of Famers say the same thing too. So that's where I'm at. But I could pick up, man. I probably could list 10 on each easy because of the history, just like you guys could with the Packers. I know the Packers history. I know a lot of it going back to the 50s even. So you have to. If you're in the NFC Central or if you're involved in any of these 4 teams that have been here just from 1960 to now, you're going to pick up some of the history. I'm sure there's stuff you know about the Bears and there's stuff you know about the Vikings and there's stuff you know about the darn Lions. So those are my guys. And on the team now, I personally like Montez Sweat, who we traded for.
Mm-hmm.
I could take you to a show back in March of 2023 where I was begging the Bears to trade for Montez Sweat. It's on there. It's live. Everybody knows it. Everybody was naming all these other guys, and I'm like, the guy you want is Montez Sweat because whoever he goes to, he's coming into the prime of his career, and he's going to be the most solid, consistent player at his position for probably an 8 to 10 year run, starting from day one till the day he hangs it up. I mean, that was literally people were talking about that when he was coming out of the draft, and that's 4 or 5 years ago already. So
yeah.
So that's current, and then offense. Man, I like Komet. I like DJ Moore. I like Justin Fields. I'll go with somebody new who I think is going to be one of our newer keys to our team, and that's Roschon Johnson, the running back. Was a rookie last year. The guy can block. He can catch passes. He needs to work on his running game, but I think he'll be decent when he gets coached up. So
Yep, it'll be interesting.
Go ahead.
speaking of McMichael, and there was another making it to the Hall of Fame. Obviously, congrats to him, but also Devin Hester. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, absolutely overdue. The guy changed the game. You guys have I don't know if you because you probably I don't know if you probably didn't see the games all when he was started, but you've seen I'm sure you've seen at least a couple reels against Green Bay where he's done some damage to you.
Yep.
And the thing about that guy is, and everybody knew this, anytime you kick the ball to him, whether it be a punt or a kickoff or even a field goal attempt, if he had an opportunity, every time that happened, when we're sitting in front of our TV as Bears fans, it could have been a touchdown any single time. That's like the hair standing up on my neck right now because just sitting there watching the guy. Oh, cool, man. We'll get right back in this game right now. All he's got to do is return it for a touchdown. But we thought that on every play for 8 years. So, I mean, and the thing was, it could have happened every single play if the blocking was right, if situations were right. And, there's maybe one or two other guys that I think there's like two other guys that are in his range, period. So I don't know. I think our next guy should be Peanut Tillman. They still call it the peanut punch to this day for the last 20 years. I don't care who throws it. Oh, he peanut punched. There's the peanut punch. You hear it every 2 or 3 times a season, at least if you watch any other games than your own. like I watch like 4 games a week, man. So maybe 5.
He was a great player.
What'd you
One
say?
day- He was a great player. I do hope that Charles Tillman makes it at some point.
Yeah.
How about Julius Peppers? How do you feel about him making it in? Former Packer as well as
Yeah.
and former Panther,
Look at what he did on the field. You go back to that. He changed things for the teams that whether it was the Panthers when he came to the Bears, we had a bunch of pieces, man. We had a good team, and he made it. He stepped it up. I mean, literally on the same team. Peppers, Hall of Famer. Tillman, Hall of Famer. Urlacher, Hall of Famer. He just made the team better. He did it for the Packers. He made that defense better, correct?
Yeah.
So you get an impact player like that. Montez Sweat. My guy. He's going to be a Hall of Famer someday. All he's got to do is do this for 4 or 5 more years, just by his sheer numbers and what he's done. He might be a little light on the sacks, but I think that's going to pick up, man.
Yeah.
So he's just coming into his prime, and what a player does over his career, especially if they do it longevity, because a player lasts 3.5 years today. It's back in the day, these guys all played 7, 8, 10 years.
Right.
When I was growing up in the 70s and the 80s, and they used to kill each other. I mean, like literally try to kill each other. It was insane. Some of the stuff every tackle that I made the 4 years I played, every tackle that I made is illegal today. Back when I was playing in the 70s, illegal today, man. So just the sheer what Peppers has done over his career, it's deserved. It's time. The time's right for him. I think everything there is fair.
Yeah.
I got it. Speaking of, I know you mentioned Justin Fields earlier. What do you think about this year's draft with you guys having the first pick? And we won't ask the second part.
Well, I actually and Packers fans like this from my understanding. Because I'm all for keeping him and trading both those picks back and building draft wealth. Because you guys build teams well in Green Bay. I look at how young your team is and look at all the young talent you got.
Yep.
We've had repeated people here in power that just don't do that. We'll buy a guy after he's done, or make a trade and overpay for somebody. So we need to be like the Packers. In Kansas City, in San Francisco, you build your team through the draft, you fill positions, and then you go out and buy the guys that you need to get you over the hump.
Right.
That's the way to win championships, Super Bowls. That's how you do it.
Right.
As long as you
gotta have those guys. Sorry, I was just gonna say you gotta have those guys like, okay, Casey's got Mahomes, but if you take that defense off the field, they're not winning these championships
Right.
because they're not scoring 35 points every game because they've had problems at wide receiver because they
Right.
can't pay for everybody. So
Right.
it's a big picture, and the little pieces make a difference, man.
Right.
Yeah, but you cannot escape when you have to deal with the power of the Caskies.
That's been a curse, and it was actually that was started the way Hallis built teams, which were very successful in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, into the early 60s, because of course 63 was it, and then we were done for decades. But you go back all those prior years, he'd build a solid defense because we always had a star linebacker, and we always had a star running back, and we had a game manager at quarterback, because quarterback basically in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, that's when what the modern quarterback came to be through those decades. It really started with Sid Luckman of the Bears in 1939. If you look at that guy and you look at the quarterbacks today, it's funny because they were showing Mahomes running one way and throwing a touchdown pass, and then they showed footage of him doing the exact same thing in 1941 to win a championship game. And I'm like, that guy could have done everything. That's you do need that guy. But if you don't have all that talent around you, you're not going anywhere. You need to take a good quarterback and surround him with good to great talent, and you will win. I've just watched it for decades, guys. Same stuff. You guys have done it. You just haven't gotten over that hump, man. You had everything there. What?
49ers have to get past them.
Yeah.
That has been a thorn in the Packers side, man.
Oh,
that goes back to the 80s too.
All right.
I mean, the 49er thing, it might even go back further, even with like when it was the Cowboys and the Packers. That goes back to the 60s. So some stuff is just hard to get over. I keep telling people, I said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's playing each other, whether it's the Packers and like the Giants. There's just certain teams where it doesn't matter 20 years later, 40 years later, I see the same thing happen. And there's like a stigmatism. I kid you not. So it's just odd. The Bears on that end, we've kind of just gotten through one with Washington. That started, I remember in 1978, this whole thing started with Washington. Another one started with the Raiders in 76. I'm talking about the Bears. I think it was the Packers and the Chiefs, early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. It all started with the Super Bowl that the Packers won.
Against the
still
Chiefs.
going on.
That's right.
That's still going on with the Packers and the Chiefs to this day with older generation. That that Super Bowl II. Was it one or two?
One was against
Super Bowl one was Chiefs,
One was
two was
Kansas
against the Raiders.
Two was Raiders, right?
That's
Or
right.
Super Bowl one. I'll shut up, man. What's going on, Justin?
I'm doing good. Just glad to be here today. And
Right.
mind if I ask the next question?
Go ahead.
So I know that the Bears haven't been to the Super Bowl in a while. How do you think they can improve to win a Lombardi Trophy in the future? Okay.
Do not curse us with these words.
Okay.
Okay, now.
Next question.
It's the same thing you guys are doing. You build through the draft and you get young talent. So when we do that properly, like you guys are doing, and like Kansas City's doing, and like San Francisco's doing, Baltimore's kind of doing it now. You know how Pittsburgh never has a losing season because they keep replenishing through the draft.
Right.
So that's it. It's treating your draft picks like they're gold bars, man, not like something you can give away.
Treat them like gold, not copper.
Copper's getting up there in value, man. No, I'm kidding.
Other than the obvious Super Bowl victory against the Patriots, what are your top three Bears moments? top 3 Bears wins in history, other than the Super Bowl.
It's you know what? It's all the same year. It's because it's returning. It's that hate of a team returning. So it's in 1985. Both of them, the top 2 are killing the Cowboys 44-0. 44-12. We killed them, and they killed us in 1978 in the playoffs. They just killed us. I think they beat us 44-3 or something, or 44-9, and we beat them like 44-3 or 44-0 in 85. And then the other one was coming back to beating the 49ers after they killed us in San Francisco in 1984 in the playoffs. Actually, technically January 85. Those are 2 of the biggest wins that I think. But like one of the greatest moments was the opening kickoff of the Super Bowl against the Colts. Devin Hester returns it for a touchdown to start a game. After that, not so good, but I mean that was just like, wow, because they said they weren't going to kick to him. They're not going to let him get the ball, and they kicked it right to him, and they paid the price. There's too many of them, man. I don't know how many Walter Payton runs I got in there. Defensive tackles by Brian Urlacher in the early 2000s. Jim McMahon on the sidelines. This is 85. I mean, a lot of stuff just happened in 85. Everything they did, no matter who was hurt or what happened, everything just worked out right. Even the game they lost to Miami, man, they might not have. That really brought them to focus on winning the Super Bowl. That loss in Miami in 1985. So, God, I could probably go on for 2 hours if I sat here and listed the moments over the last 40 plus years of my favorite Bears moments. I've got books and books of them. So, what about you guys? What's everybody give me like your favorite Packers moment? Is it all the last Super Bowl, or I mean?
Well, I'll pick 3. I'll pick 3 of them other than Super Bowl victories. For one thing, I'll pick the when Al Harris got the pick 6 against Matt Hasselbeck and the Seahawks in 2003.
Yeah.
And then 4 years later against Seattle at Lambeau again. Ryan Grant ran over 200 yards after losing 2 fumbles early, and he redeemed himself. 200 plus yards rushing in the snow. That was a fantastic game. And then 2010, obviously not talking about that game, but the week before, Jamal Williams had the pick 6 against Matt Ryan and the Falcons, and that whole 2010 Falcons game was awesome.
I saw all those because in Chicago, man, we see every Packers game. They always put it on TV here. I don't know why. No, I'm kidding. There's a lot of Packers fans in Chicago, man. There's a lot. Kid you not. It's just the way it works sometimes.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a lot. I'm hoping for a lot of seeing a lot of Packers games this season, even though I'm in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
All right.
What do you got? What do you got, Angry?
Go ahead. I'm freezing something for mine.
All right, so let's do the PJ Raji pick 6 in the NFC Championship game against you guys.
That's a must.
The Tampa Bay game in 2023 season where we beat Tom Brady. 22. I got to see that in person, and
nice.
See, I was gonna go with the Ice Bowl, but that's way too common.
I'm glad I wasn't there, man. That must have been
yeah.
I would have to say, this is harder. You get rid of that. I will have to say I want to see any games against the Cowboys, especially these past 2 years where we came back against Dallas. Thank you, Christian Watson. And then, of course, this past year in the wild card where we just decimated them. It was glory. It's just as much magic as owning the Chicago Bears. Oh wait, shit! I'm talking to a Chicago Bear fan. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You guys can own us for 20 years. We only owned you for the first 80.
Sure.
So for mine,
No.
I'm going to give one that no one has mentioned. The Lambeau Leap game we won against the Raiders. No one has ever mentioned that one. I'm not sure why.
Oh yeah,
26 and 93.
Yeah, with
we
Leroy
won.
Butler. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Leroy Butler. I remember that game really well.
I was just looking up that score to make sure we won.
28-zip.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to agree, the Cowboys game, that was Jordan Love's first ever playoff win, ever. And Romeo Dobbs. Congratulations. Darnell Savage. The last good game of him as a Packer.
Luke Musgrave, stay on his feet.
Yep. Look, Musgrave.
I'm ticked. I want to tell you guys two things. So first, Romeo Dobbs, when we were picking, instead of picking Velus Jones, I was pounding the table. I'm going, I wanted Romeo. I look at players always later in the draft. I always look at the players, the guys going late, third, fourth, fifth rounds.
Right.
Because the first 2, 3, everybody has a good idea, and it's always pretty close or similar. Maybe not exact, but those are pretty given. So I'm always looking for that guy I can get later. Always. I've been doing this since I was a little kid. And I wanted Dobbs so bad. That's one thing I want to say. And even Reed. I was like, man, if we could get Reed on there, dude, he's better than everybody thinks. I know it.
Right.
I mean, just like I was pounding the table. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe we didn't draft Jack Sanborn. And then we signed him, and I went, thank God, because the guy's going to be great. And he is. He's going to be. He already is, but he's going to be better next season because we're probably going to get rid of somebody that's getting paid a lot more money, unless the guy makes leaps and bounds of progress this year. But the other thing is that Cowboys Packers playoff game. I was on a show out of New York and Philadelphia with Eagles fans, Giants fans, and Cowboy fans, and I told them straight up. I said, "There's no way the Cowboys are going to win that game." And the one guy was a little aggravated with me because I was really pushing it. I says, "You don't know the history. I know what Dallas has. I know all the talent they have. I know the numbers. I know what the Packers got. I know Jordan Love is going to be great. All he's got to do is cut back on his overthrows and just be a little more aware of where his ball placement is. He's going to be a great quarterback." Hate to say it. I said it on my show, and people were like, "Oh, don't say that, man." I'm like, dude, what do you want me to lie to you? It's what I see. So, but I got some flack on that for that show, and I even went back on and talked to those guys, and now they'll probably be on my show and stuff. So I was big on backing the Packers, and a lot of Bears fans were not happy with me when I said it on my show, and I'm just like, dude, put it this way. I don't want the Packers or the Vikings or the Lions to win. But if the Bears aren't in the playoffs, I'm back in the NFC North. My father made me do this because I was like, no, screw the Pack. Can't stand them. I hope they die. Go to hell. That's how I was, as a kid. So,
right.
But I was really happy when they beat Dallas, man. And for the Packers to make a Bears fan happy, that usually takes a lot. But we were a lot of us ended up being real happy because even though we hate the Packers, we actually hate the Cowboys more because they're not our team. It's like you guys too. You guys live in America, right? They're not your freaking team. They're not America's team.
Right.
They're Texas's team. There's not America's team. I don't want to see that crap anymore. I had to rant. Sorry, guys.
Dallas'
Well, there's a
playoff wins in them.
There's a book by Mark Beast that says the Packers are the people's team.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going communist now? I'm joking.
No, it's an actual book. A 100-year history book by Mark Beast about the Packers. It's titled "The People's Team." It was released a couple years before the Cliff Crystal history book series.
Okay, I do not know that one. I'll have to look into that.
And I'm going to say for my third and final game, the Packers versus Thanksgiving against the Lions. No one had us winning that game.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't. I had you guys losing that one too. I did.
Of course you did.
Well, I mean, be honest.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
Yeah, but be honest. Did you guys think you were going to win that?
No.
Honestly, I think no.
Honestly,
I was shocked.
Mine didn't look that great either the past couple weeks.
yeah. So it's at least your perception's right. I mean, because you're looking at what the Lions are doing, and then what the Packers did going into that game, what they had been doing. I was looking at them I'm going, wow, man, what's going on? Because I thought for sure you guys would have won a couple more games in there. You had that little weird streak where things were weird, man. The defense gave up 33 points to Carolina, and just weird crap going on. I was like, holy shit. Excuse my language.
Good
No,
thing
you're
Joe
fine.
Barry's gone.
Yeah, Joe Barry's gone.
Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. But yeah, Mr. Big saying hello all.
Oh, I was about to bring that up. I'm gonna say right now, if you guys have not watched Jeff Hafley's press conference, do it. It was fantastic.
Lovely. This man that's the man of the people right there.
Yeah. Pass run coverage. He said like the Packers were like one of his favorite teams in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, so the next question, so of course, I gotta think of something. So how do you think the North is gonna be coming up? I'm not saying Chicago's gonna be best or Green Bay. No. How do you think this coming year, with all the changes that are gonna happen? Of course, we got the NFC West, the AFC South this year.
Yeah.
How do you think this whole season is going to go in terms of rankings? Like, who do you think will make the playoffs, especially in the North? How do you feel about it? What do you think?
I'm putting Detroit and Green Bay up at the top of that division still. I have to. I mean, Minnesota, I'm going to stick them at the bottom right now. I don't know who their quarterback is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's going on in Minnesota? I just have to put them at the bottom at this point in time. And my own Bears, I'm not too sure, but I would assume, and I would like to think, we're on that. We're kind of on a Detroit Lions track. If you look at what's happened over the last two seasons for the Bears, and not this year, but the last 2 years for the Lions, they ended up going on that little streak last year. Just like not last year, the year before,
right? Like
we did like the Bears did at the end of the year. Now, I don't know if we're quite at the same point, but I gotta say it's you guys are going to be fighting with Detroit for the top of the division. And the Bears could sneak up on you. I don't know. I just, if my progression goes correct, the way I've been watching this unfold since the day they hired Poles, because that's been like one of the happiest days of my life, because we really haven't had a GM since the Bears 80s teams. And our last real GM with some control was Jim Finks, and he was there from like 76 to 83, 84, or 85, 86. So that was the last time we really had a GM doing things with football people. It's all been accountants and lawyers, and we have, our it's like you said, dude, McCaskey curse. They have to remove themselves from the picture of running a football team, because they're not. The owner even says, I'm a fan. Okay, let some guys who run the football run the team. And that's finally what they're doing. It appears that. I mean, we've got a president. We haven't had a real president since the 90s. Our last president for the last 30 years almost was an accountant who was owed a favor by George Halas and the McCaskies. That wasn't even supposed to be a permanent job. It wasn't even supposed to last this long. But they owed him. And they're loyal. They're loyal people, actually. Sometimes that's the problem too. You stay loyal to stuff even when it's going bad.
Right.
The new administration, Warren and Poles, they're not going to let that happen, man. We just got Montez Sweat. Next year, the year after, he's going to be looking for his replacement a year or two before that contract's up. We didn't used to do things like that.
Right.
So it's going to be. I can't wait. I can't wait till the draft goes on. Because I know you guys always pick up players, and you get a lot of players that are from Illinois, damn it.
Yep.
Where I picked 25.
Like Lucas,
but I know it's gonna be an interesting season. Don't you guys agree?
Oh yeah, it'll be interesting. That's for sure. Do you think they're going to keep Justin Fields, or do you think they're going to restart with Caleb Williams?
I wish they'd keep Fields. I honestly don't know at this point anymore because of all the things that are going on in Chicago and some things I'm hearing behind the scene. But then I see a contradiction to it the very next day.
Right.
So it's just difficult to call it, man. I still think the smart move though is to build an offense because Justin Fields is probably one of the best athletes in the NFL. I'm not saying he's a great quarterback.
Right.
I'm saying he's a great athlete that I think a lot of things are coachable. It may take him a little longer to develop. But if you look at some of the statistics, and he's developed every single year at almost every one of the key statistics with crap around him. I mean, let's face it, last year we had nobody. Year before was a mismatch. Our coach Nagy couldn't run anything, man. But yet he's celebrating a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So it's I honestly don't have that answer. I don't know it. I'm gonna say I got a feeling they're gonna keep him because I got a feeling the stuff with Caleb Williams is he doesn't want to come to Chicago. Even though it's been denied and denied and denied. And then one of his old coaches in Washington. So I don't know. There's just too many and Poles, our GM, has set it up perfect because everybody in Chicago's up in the air on which way he's going. They're saying, "Oh, well, I'm hearing this on the inside," and then you hear a report, "Yeah, they're doing everything possible in Washington to get that quarterback." Right. And I just heard today somebody's like Caleb Williams wants to go to Washington. So I don't have that answer, man. I wish I did. I really hope they keep Fields. And I'm only saying that because I'm greedy. I want 2 first-round draft picks next year and 4 in the second, or maybe 3 in the second, because that's the kind of thing we could build by trading this pick back. Right. It's some generational draft wealth instead of one possible generational talent, long term.
Right. Definitely got the best out of that trade with Carolina this past year.
Yeah.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah. You guys are jealous now.
Yeah, bunch of suckers.
Wait. We have Lucas Van Ness, who's also from Illinois. That's another one from Illinois.
You guys, what has he got? 5 or 6? Check, because I think there's 5 or 6 guys from Illinois on your roster. It could be 3 or 4. I like to exaggerate shit.
Yeah, Lucas Van Ness was another great guy who played in Iowa in college.
Yeah.
Brian Bulaga, Iowa.
Oh, yeah. Brian Bulaga.
He's talking Illinois, not Iowa, though.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's just because he played in Iowa.
Yeah.
That's the other problem with this state, too, is all our athletes go to other colleges. They don't even go to Illinois or Northwestern, man.
Okay.
They go to Florida and Iowa and Wisconsin.
Right. Lucas Van Ness stats. 4 sacks in the regular season, and then 1 sack against one sack in the playoffs. So 5 sacks total.
Jeez.
Take it. I'll take that all day. We don't have that.
Right.
We got one guy who can say that. One guy. Montez Sweat. Out of everybody on our defense, there's only one guy that could say that. And he ain't no rookie.
All right.
No.
You guys are on the up. I hate to say it, but you're on the up right away.
I was gonna say, do you guys have any questions? I'm looking at the roster right now.
What did you guys?
What?
Did you guys? So the last game when we played you guys, the last game of the season, did you guys have any Did you have any concern that the Bears could have possibly beat you guys just because
I think it was at halftime.
Yeah, halftime.
Minor concerns, but I felt like it's a slugfest. That's all it was.
It's the Bears.
And the Packers left plenty of points on the board.
Yeah.
Man, it used to be with the Bears and the Packers. I don't care if the Packers were say the Packers were 6-1, and the Bears were 1-6.
Mhm.
Throughout the 70s, even in the early 80s, those were always the toughest fought games, man. You could throw it because those guys literally like hated each other, man. Literally were like they hated each other.
Right.
Those were some of the toughest, roughest games I've ever seen, man. And like I said, a lot of times we had a better record than you guys even, and I'm talking late 70s into the 80s.
Mhm.
And it didn't, yeah, we're going to go in and kick Green Bay's ass. And it was always a tough game, man. Always. The records or the guys on the field, man, just kept it tough.
Right.
So, haven't seen that in a while. But we're on the up too, guys. We're on the up too,
Right.
believe it or not.
We'll see. I mean, you guys said last year, but
Why not the Jets?
Hey, we more than doubled our win total. And easily the last 2 years, both they could have won. It drives me insane because they could have won 10 games both of the last 2 years. There's 7 games the year before that I'm going, Jesus Christ, if somebody could make a freaking tackle, they would have won those games. And I know same with the Packers, because you guys had 2 or 3 games this year that you guys should have. I thought you were going to win them. I don't remember the games, but I just remember I'm like, man, how did they lose that?
Pretty much a lot of the games, actually. Giants game, the Raiders, Broncos,
Steelers,
Falcons, Steelers. Yep, quite a few.
I was up
Niners.
in Oshkosh for the Giants game, man. I saw that game up in Wisconsin, and I was like, I had a feeling about that game too, man.
Well, let's like go with the Mafia agent win.
What?
Oh, no.
See how DeVito's agent dressed in that game?
Well, yeah, he dressed up that way even for the freaking Super Bowl and all that. So
Okay.
all I know is I need to get a job in the NFL from him then.
Nope. DeVito will be forgotten this upcoming year.
Right.
Oh, I know you mentioned to me over a phone call that you almost went to the combine. Can you speak about that?
Yeah, I was going to go to the combine's coming up, so I was going to go to the combine. I was going to go to the Senior Bowl. I had it all kind of in the works, man. And then I actually had my house, little fire at my house, guys. That's literally what happened. Was my paper shredder started a little fire and smoked my whole. Didn't burn anything. It just smoked the whole house out. So I wasn't able to go to that. I'm not going to the combine. I was hoping to even go to the draft because it's right in Detroit, but I'm not going to even do that this year. I just can't do it, man.
All right.
Fortunately, a couple of my buddies went to the Senior Bowl. A couple of the guys on our show, one or two of them might go to the combine. I don't think so. I think things have changed, but I would really like to go, and I'm planning on going to all those next year. And I'll give you some inside stuff, man, next year when I go, because I'm going unless God takes me off the face of the planet, I'm going. Shouldn't be anything stopping me next year. Because if the house is on fire, I'll leave it and go anyways.
So what you're saying is you're going to be at the draft in Lambeau in 2025, right?
I don't know about the draft, but Senior Bowl and the combine I will be at. I'd like to go too in 2025. I just don't know. I didn't look that far, but the Senior Bowl and the combine, because I've been trying to go for 5 years.
Right.
Things just happen, and I'm like, I'm done. This ain't happening. Well, my kids are older too now and stuff, so it's
right.
I can do it that way. I just, God willing, nothing will change, man. I'd love to go see that stuff.
Yeah.
It's so cool, man. You ever go to anything, guys?
No.
Anything? A joint practice?
Nope. Nothing.
I don't think Packers Bears will have a joint practice any time.
Well, no. I just meant with another team. Like I went last year for 3 days, and it was in Bears had a joint practice with the Colts. So I went and hung out there for 3 days. That was awesome, man.
I kind of have a feeling that the Packers won't have a joint practice this upcoming training camp.
If they ever
do, they'll probably be against a non-division level.
Yeah.
Right. It's usually an AFC team, man, just like the Colts. And if they ever have one with the Colts and it's in Indianapolis and you guys get a chance to go, I know you guys are in Florida. But if you ever get a chance to go to one, just take at least a day and go spend a day doing it. Because you guys are such fans, I know you'll enjoy it. Bring your phone or a camera and make sure it's charged up, and you'll enjoy it. I've got hundreds of photos and some videos that nobody's even seen, and I put a ton of them on the show. I saved them all on a chip, man. It's just stuff that if you get one opportunity to do something like that, do it. It's usually not. It's usually the things you don't do that you might regret later, other than the things you did.
Right.
So, and screw the things that you regret that you did, because it just don't matter in the end. Later, it don't matter anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll never forget my first trip to Lambeau back in November 2022. I'll always have that in my mind. I still have the pictures on my phone. It was a wonderful time. Packers winning against the Cowboys. I'm hoping to. I am planning on making it to the draft in 2025. We'll see how that goes. Luckily, there'll be some help with that. But right now, it's February 2024. We have a long way to go. We still have this upcoming draft, this upcoming season, and all that stuff. So I'm just looking forward to everything.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys, what do you guys see the upcoming season for the Packers like? I know it's hard to tell because you don't know what's going to be on the team, but I'm just.
Well, I'll definitely say this. It all depends on our defense, how well Jeff Hafley does as a defensive coordinator, and how much he can improve or not improve compared to Joe Barry was running it. And another thing will also have to be with the special teams. Of course, we got Anders Carlson, but it's not that great. Of course, we brought in some competition. Might look at another kicker. You never know. So it really depends on that, and if Rich Bisaccia will be a bit more aggressive with the team, with the special teams itself, and get back to where it was, at the tail end of 2022-2023 season, where we were able to get 90 yards on the Dolphins in a return for a touchdown against the Vikings at home. And of course, we got second-year offense coming up. We'll see if they improve or if they kind of decline, because this is their big test. Are they going to be able to push themselves to be contenders? And LaFleur even said they have no excuse to being a new team. They know the ropes. They know what to do. They got to show that they can do it.
They do.
They
do.
Yeah.
Or they'll get somebody else in here to take their place.
Definitely. I mean, I do see the Packers probably making the playoffs again. Maybe make a wild card or divisional win. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see them making past the NFC Championship game as of now. We'll see. But,
yeah, you can kind of develop that and see that as the season progresses, if you think they'll be able to go further.
Right.
I can't disagree with any of that, dude. I see kind of the same thing, dude. I just don't know. Like you said, I don't know if it's going to be the division or wild card. I really think that you guys and the Lions are going to slug it out till the last week of the season, man.
Mm-hmm.
Watch them have you guys play each other last week of the season too.
That's why I have my prediction. I had for fun predicted the Packers' schedule for 2024, and I have the Lions at Week 18 at Lambeau.
Another rematch of 2023.
Yeah.
I really wish. We wanted to knock you guys out of the playoffs so bad. We really did, man. You know it. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, but you're not the Lions.
Nope. But we beat them once, and we should have beat them twice. I mean, we gave that game away.
So did we.
There were 5 minutes. Bears were playing the Lions the first game. There were 5 minutes left. We ran up the middle into an 8-man front and kicked a field goal. I immediately got on the phone and texted 2 of my friends. We just lost the game. And they're like, what are you talking about, dude? We're up by 12. We just lost the freaking game. Because I've seen it happen too many times. I've seen that exact thing happen too many times. And I saw it once or twice with the Packers this year too, man.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
That's coaching. That's on coaching. Either poor execution or coaching. And I don't I'm going to blame it more on poor coaching. So
Yeah.
even Mary was trying to pass your defensive coordinator off to the Bears a couple weeks ago,
I
man.
did.
She's like, "Oh, you guys can
I
take
mean,
him." And I'm like,
yeah.
"No, thank you."
I mean, he went to the Dolphins anyways. It's okay.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
what
whatever.
freaked me out is your defense started looking really good at the end of the season,
I know.
and then
But I think
Weirdly enough.
But I think that was thanks to Matt LaFleur
Yeah.
jumping
being
in.
poking his nose in there. I knew that Joe Barry
Absolutely.
was not long for us. It was Super Bowl or bust for him staying on the team, but thankfully that loss got the Packers to get rid of Barry, and now we have Halfley, and should be much better for the Packers. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but I'm hoping to have a lot of fun during the season.
The best thing for you guys, and this is just my opinion, is that I know that you guys have the talent, and you can't have a very good, effective defense because we've seen it. We've seen
Right.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, are these guys going to be able to work it out and continue the pattern and the progression that LaFleur started when he stuck his finger in there? And I hate to say this too, but I got a feeling again, he's gonna, and they're gonna be good all season long. Damn it. I just call him like I see him, guys.
Right.
That doesn't mean I like it.
Right. And I will say, when you were on the other Packers podcasts, you predicted every game right that I was on there. I will say that.
I got a friend, and they do a Hispanic. It's because they don't speak English. So I got a friend, and he's in this. It's like what's the thing where you put the numbers 1 through 18 or
Ranking.
1 through 6?
Ranking?
No, not the ranking. It's a sheet. You fill it out and you bet on it. $5, $10.
Oh, okay.
Gambling, sports betting.
It's how positive are you that these teams are going to win? I forget what they call it.
Okay.
Well, anyways, no,
Sorry.
it's a confidence pool. You ever hear of a confidence pool?
Oh, confidence pool. That's right.
Confidence pool. So they don't do it with the numbers. You pick. They got the teams and the helmets there, and you pick home or away, and that's it. So he didn't understand it, so I started teaching him because he's a soccer guy. He's from Mexico. Really good friend of mine, guys. Awesome dude. So I was teaching him football and showing him stuff, and I hooked him up. I got a friend who does a Spanish Bears channel. They have a show every week. So I'm like, dude, watch this. You'll get more of it. So I was picking his games every week, and I won like 10 to 14 games every single week. But the winner always had like 15. I think he ended up winning one pool. He tied with somebody at 14.
Oh, gosh.
And I mean, consistently, on a bad week, I'd get 8 or 9. So, but I've seen all this stuff. The problem is I can't give you the numbers for Vegas to bet on it.
Right.
You know, the point spread when they do the point spreads, I don't always get those right, so I don't gamble, because otherwise, if it was just picking the teams, everybody'd be a lot easier doing it, you know.
Right.
Nice.
But getting the upsets, that's one that I like, is getting those upsets right.
Does anyone else have a question? Oh.
Any games you're going this year, or?
I haven't looked into it. I know there's 1 or 2 that I'll be going to. One for sure, because we're gonna get a bunch of podcasters together again, like we did last year, and go to a game.
Nice.
So it's all Bears podcasters, so you guys aren't freaking invited. I'm joking.
Fine.
Anybody's welcome, man. We don't even discriminate. No discrimination on just because you're a fan of a team we can't stand. It doesn't matter.
Right.
We can still all have fun and enjoy it.
Right.
As long as you can take a ribbing, because I can. And you guys been ribbing the crap out of me for the last 20 plus years. Due for a change.
I'm unsure about me going to a game because I'm trying to save money for the draft, but we'll see. I mean, I know the Packers play against Jacksonville this upcoming season, unless they somehow put that game in London.
Do they got a game against Atlanta at Atlanta?
No, that was last year.
Jacksonville.
Because if they ever played Atlanta, I might be able to help you guys. Anybody close? Seriously.
We'll double check next time.
Just
It's not, sadly.
just maybe next year, whatever. But if that happens and I'm still around and we're still talking, because unless you guys want to blow me up and never talk to me again because I'm a crazy old man, you let me know. And if I can get seats for Atlanta game, I got a connection. So
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll definitely say I am actually planning on going to 2 games. I got family in the West Coast in Seattle, Washington, who are diehard Seahawks fans. I'm going to see my uncle, and I'm going to go watch the game with them. And the other game, it depends on if the Packers are going to play Jacksonville or not in London or in Jacksonville. If they are, then I'm going to have to go to Nashville and watch the Titans game. If not, I'll go to Jacksonville because I actually don't live in Florida. I live in the Carolinas, so
Oh, okay.
But it's really not. It's either or really. I'm guaranteed Seattle because my uncles really want me to go with them to go see the game too, and really it just depends on Jacksonville or Tennessee. I'm really banking on Jacksonville though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Make that Seattle one. It's beautiful country, and whatever you can do with family, dude, do it when you can.
Right.
Do it when you
Right.
can. You don't know if you have the opportunity again. I just say shit. Sorry.
That's fair. So for me, I'm not sure yet. I want it because Justin and I literally live like 30 minutes away from each other, actually. So I'm hoping to go to the Jacksonville one if it's there. I know Angry said he might be there as well. So that'd be fun for the podcast crew to finally meet up before the draft, which would be fun.
Absolutely, man. That would be great. I hope you guys get to do it. I hope you guys really get to do it, man.
And hopefully the Jaguars have cheap tickets.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Foster, do you have any questions for us?
Man, I don't know. I was gonna ask you guys some stuff about old Bears Packers games or any of them that were the opposite, where you were upset with the result, but there hasn't been enough. I don't know if you got one because it's been just terrible on our end, man.
Just upset that you guys won a Super Bowl, but oh well, we'll get over it.
Yeah.
There were plenty. There have been plenty of great Packers wins over the Bears, but one loss I'm still irritated about was 2015 Thanksgiving night. Bears somehow won that game.
Yeah.
That was when Brett Favre's number was revealed at Lambeau.
I'm irritated. I think I'll give you my biggest one, man. Forever, this has just kicked me off. You guys remember hearing about Don Majkowski, right? The Magic Man.
Oh yeah.
When he stepped 2 yards over the line and threw a touchdown pass at the end of the game to win it. Go look at it on YouTube, man. Clearly was a Bears victory because that should have been a penalty and the game would have been done. 2 yards past the marker, throws the pass. You guys win.
Really? I thought it would have been the Packers comeback game when Aaron Rodgers got injured.
Oh yeah. What about that one?
That one pisses me off too. 2010. But the first one, I went back to my first one that really.
Yeah.
There's too many times Aaron Rodgers pissed me off, man. Not even against the Bears. And some of the national games or the games after, I'm just like, man, how did this guy do it? And then the real truth is, you're jealous because you want him on your team. People are afraid to say that, but there was a guy in the Vikings. His name was Fran Tarkington, and he was on the Vikings for I don't know. He played 17 seasons. I know he was on the Giants for a few years.
Tarkington.
But he did that to everybody in our division for a decade.
Mm-hmm.
He was the guy that and he killed us. And then he leaves, and I'm like, we're done with Minnesota finally. No, Tommy Kramer's got to come in. And then we get a little leeway on the Vikings, and then Brett Favre throws an interception for the Falcons to lose a game in Atlanta. Right. And because he says to Jerry Glanville, see, coach, I told you I'd throw a touchdown being a smartass. They traded him the next week to the Packers. Right. That's how you guys got Brett Favre.
Yep.
Thank you, Ron Wolf.
What?
Thank you, Ron Wolf. Ron Wolf was was enhanced with entranced with Brett Favre ever since he came out of the draft, and
Yeah. But if he's not an asshole to Glanville, because Glanville hated him immediately when he did that. He's like, that guy's gone, dude. He's gone. And he was. The next week, he was gone. What if that didn't happen and he played his career in Atlanta? I'm just saying how one guy can change a whole history.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You guys are awesome, man.
My first thought was that Glanville was not excited about when Favre was selected. That was back on draft day when the Falcons got Glanville was not happy.
That's true too, but the capping thing was that literally say when the guy says, "Watch me throw a touchdown," then he throws a pick six and he comes off the field laughing, smiling, telling Glanville, "See, coach, I told you I'd throw a touchdown." Because literally Glanville and Favre have told the story. Like I saw this story probably less than a year after it happened. And just to hear Glanville tell it, it was like, yep, he was done immediately, man. He wasn't done when he walked out onto the field. He wasn't done if he would have not said anything. I'm just giving you the story. But look what that did for the Packers, man. And then to get Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Because the 49ers were supposed to take him, everybody thought.
Right.
What are your? I got a question too, because I want to know what you guys think of him being with the Jets next year. Do you think he's going to be able to do anything? Is he done?
I think Rodgers is done.
He's still like
Achilles. He's coming back from an Achilles injury, which is already bad at his age,
Right.
and he still has that terrible offensive line unless they somehow get Bakhtiari. But David's not.
Yeah, seconds. His knee might act up again.
Right.
They got to do something about the offensive line. Or he's in trouble.
Tears Achilles again. So
he was already healing up quicker than anybody said. Man, did you guys catch all the stories out of New York when he was going to come back?
I kind of don't believe.
I knew he wasn't. I had a gut feeling he wasn't. I was like, yeah, that's whatever.
Yeah.
There's no way from that. I mean, given his age factor and everything involved, it would have been suicide for him to step on the field because it would end his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's better off going to another darkness retreat.
Yeah.
But, oh well. Dude, Foster, I actually have an off-topic question I want to ask you. Cool. Being from Chicago, are you familiar with Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert?
Absolutely.
I watched a lot of their old reviews. I've been a big fan of their stuff. Like, especially learning about their history for a long time. It's just, man, they're two guys that were gone too soon that were very enjoyable to watch, review movies ever since from the 70s all the way up to Gene's death in 99.
Yep.
Roger's little throat cancer in 2000s. It's just, man, you never forget the comedy that they brought, and that's honestly one of the positive things I will definitely give about Chicago. Besides giving the Packers a potential win here on vacation, but is that Gene Siskel, Roger Ebert, they were definitely great people.
Oh man! So have you gotten to see their weekly show at the movies?
I watched their old clips. I wasn't alive when Siskel was born. I
know. I meant after the fact, because they had a show that was on every single week here in Chicago when I was for 20 years probably.
Again, I was really young. I'm only in my 20s, so I mean, right. I just look at archive footage that I found on YouTube. That's how I've been learning more about Siskel and Ebert because
nice.
I don't know if you heard this guy called the Nostalgia Critic. He's popular on YouTube, but he kind of led me into watching Siskel and Ebert and watched their kind of humor, and I kind of bonded with that kind of humor.
That's why they were so huge across the country. Just because of their play off each other and their reviews of movies. And a lot of their reviews for a lot of movies that they did not like and they gave thumbs down, not all of them, but a lot of them ended up where a lot of people are like, "You're nuts, you're crazy. That's a great movie." But I digress.
The
It's
best
just
parts
funny,
is
man.
when one of them shot down the other. Like one of them gives a nice positive review, and then someone shoots him down like it's an anti-aircraft gun and a direct hit. Like God, awful, terrible, bad. Like that one rant that Roger had. I forgot what movie it was. I think it was Baby's Gate.
Roger
I
was
don't
the
know.
best, dude. Roger was the best in my eyes. I loved when he would go off.
Oh yeah, Roger was great when he'd go off. But I always love Gene's dry humor as well. It's just so, dry gets sophisticated. You get what I mean?
Yep. He might
Look,
could relate to.
definitely.
He was a good guy too.
Definitely gone too soon.
There's another show. I don't know if you check it out. It was called the Sports Writers on TV. It was the first roundtable, and these guys were really old. I mean, they were covering sports in the 30s and the 40s, and this was on in the 80s, and it was on for 5-6 years, man. There's like only one of them left. I think he might be a writer for the Sun Times. But man, I can't remember his name. But they're very similar to Siskel and Ebert, but it's all sports, and it's not just Bears. It's boxing and Green Bay Packers and Milwaukee Brewers and White Sox and Cubs and Steelers, and it was the Sports Writers on TV. If you ever get a crack at it on YouTube, there's got to be something out there. But that's awesome because it doesn't have to do with. It doesn't matter if it's sports or not, but just finding things, especially things in the past that you never had a concept of, and just to delve into it and look at it and see it for exactly what it is. So I think that's awesome. Anytime you pick up any type of knowledge or information, albeit something that's, something of importance or for your own enjoyment, especially for your own enjoyment. Because sometimes we just don't get enough time to do the things for ourselves. And that's critical, man. Especially as you're getting older, you're going to see that taking the time to just enjoy stupid little things sometimes is some of the best thing you can do for your own health. Everywhere I go, there I am, because this is my only problem right here, man. Everything's good except for this. This is the problem. Foster's freaking mind can be the biggest problem I have.
Yep. Same here with me. Angry's mind is always a problem.
I see just by the title. The Angry Cheesehead.
Yeah.
Watching Looney Tunes cartoons can help me just get my mind off some bad stuff and just like have a laugh. I always love watching the Wile E. Coyote Rubber Iron Shorts.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I love that stuff, man. And some of that stuff is so old.
All right.
The guy who did the voices and the characters, they were doing that 30s, 40s, 30s.
One minute blank.
All those Looney Tune things, man. It's all the same people, and it's crazy because it's little kid stuff. But you know how many adults we watch that stuff?
Yep.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's enjoyment, and that's a lot of what life is about. Get the enjoyment while you can get it, man.
Right.
Little snippets, whatever it takes.
I was going to ask for final thoughts, whatever. Anyone have any final thoughts?
I want to do this. Hi, guys. I'm Foster Covers. I am the media relations manager at Bears Country Productions. I also do a show every Thursday night at 8 p.m. normally. We're not on tonight because we had a special last night. It's called Bears Country Podcast. It's on YouTube. You know what? I don't know. I'm on like 9 platforms. I don't even know what they are. Like iHeartRadio, Spotify.
Yeah.
Also on the Pro Sports Football app.
Right.
I don't even know, but we have fun and we do this.
Yes.
We just talk about football and life. That's all. And a lot of food. We like food. Especially if there's cheese in it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Cheese and bacon can go with anything in my mind. Just about.
I'll add you to the list of something.
Sure you
Justin, final thoughts? We're kind of this opposite.
Foster, thanks for being on the show with us, and we're glad to have you on with a friend of ours, even though we're we root for different teams. You can find me at Justin_Amandro, AMANDRO on Twitter/X. I still call it Twitter. So if you want to follow me, you can. If not, then oh well. Just you do what you do, and just can't wait for the next few months to pass by. Hashtag release Coyote versus Acme.
Before you go, Angry, let me ask you this. I can find both of you guys on her Twitter page
Yep.
or X page, whatever it's called now.
On the
Yeah, you can. We also have I also have my own Twitter page too. So
Okay, but
Yeah.
you're connected to Mary.
Yep. Eventually.
That's
Yeah.
the easiest way. That's the easiest way for the old guy like me to find it is just go steal it from somebody else. That's what us Gen Xers do, man.
yeah.
You're all Go ahead, Angry.
All right. So yeah, definitely Foster. I appreciate you coming on the show. It's funny because I only know like one other Bear fan who's like as relaxed and more kind
They're
of
as cool as me.
Yeah, about as cool as you. I don't know what he's like. I never seen him in person. He's not a camera guy, but Batman. He's on Twitter, good guy. But check him out. But Foster, I appreciate having you on and definitely talking some smack, even though I'm kind of been like bullying you on like Packers stuff. But even with these great conversations like Siskel and Ebert and old cartoons, just it's always great, and hopefully maybe one day we can actually all of us a lot of our guys can get together and we can watch a bad Packer game or something like that, and just know the Packers are going to the Super Bowl.
Not if we can help it. I want to say real quick too before you go, Mayor. It's cool because in my eyes I just made 2 more friends. I don't know if you guys consider that. If not, the hell with you. But that's where I'm at.
Well put. I would have said the same freaking thing.
There you go.
Here, I'll send you their Twitter names. They're some of my best friends. Some.
Come on, Mary. I heard you only got like 4 friends, man.
What? No. No. Do not say that.
Wait, no, that's me. I'm sorry. I get confused. I'm old. That's me. I got 4 friends.
If it makes you feel better, I got -7.
Angry, stop. No, you cannot do that. No.
I'm gonna have to go. I want to see -7 on your X page, dude. I'm not buying that one.
I'm talking about it in real life. I'd say -7, but hey, believe what you want to believe.
I see how it is. Fine.
People just leave him. They don't even get to meet him. They look at him and go, "I'm done."
Like, okay, screw this piece of crap. He's lame.
Okay, fine. You guys can find me at Twitter X Mary 90118710. Shoot. You can find us at Ohana Packer Edition Network. They also have a Twitter page. I think it's Ohana_Packers. And you can follow the podcast, like I said, at Mac Podcast 365. I think, right?
If you guys do a draft show, I'll stop on it.
Okay.
Let me know.
Definitely love to have you on there too.
Matter of fact, awesome. I'm gonna make sure I comment on shit to all you guys when the draft's going on. We'll see who takes who, man. I hope I'm not going to be as mad the last 2 years because you guys got like 4 guys that I wanted on the Bears.
We should probably do the outro.
That's okay. We're still not over the Lions.
I'm going to shut up now.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Brian Branch. Yep. And once again, I know, Justin, this is our first time with you on since Tom Grossi won. Congratulations to Tom Grossi winning Fan of the Year. I know that I took that out of the fan script.
Well deserved.
Out of all of us, I think. I'm going to play the outro before I outro.
And one more thing, for those of you who haven't seen it yet, I actually did a video in a similar style to Tom Grossi's skits. A Packers fan reaction to Tom Grossi winning Fan of the Year is on my channel. So yes, I know I freaking uploaded. How long has it been? That's since
It's been a while. It's been a while.
I know. But do check it out if you get the time.
think, sometimes.